Hey friends, I was just having some magic here with my friend Kinobe. We were hanging out in the basement studio here, and Kinobe came over for dinner and a little hangout tonight. I've had the privilege of performing with him a few times before. He's a world-class musician, originally from Uganda, who plays a lot of different Ugandan instruments, and many of which he built, and maybe all of which, I don't know. Do you ever play anybody else's instruments?
Nope.
Yeah, so this is a kora that Kinobe built, and we've just had the most incredible night. He walked in here and saw a drum over by the wall there that my friend Ethan gave to me some time ago. I'm going to go get it, and you tell people about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ugandan drum you find a drum from your home country somewhere in Black Mountain. So that was Ngalabi.
My friend Ethan Vesely Flad gave me this drum, and it's an old and traditional, beautiful drum from Uganda. That the head was broken on it, but Ethan just brought it to me one day and said that he thought that I needed to have it, and it had been a gift to his father, as I understand, from a Ugandan musician who became friends with his family back in the 90s. Yeah, so tell us more about it.
Yeah, so this drum is called Ngalabi, and that's in Luganda, which is my mother tongue. So Uganda is a country, and within the country we have several kingdoms. So Buganda happens to be the kingdom where I'm from, and that's my tribe. And this is the main drum that accompanies the three major dances. The Amagunju dance, which is a royal dance performed for the king, and there's another story to that, but it's really interesting. Baksimba dance, which is another traditional dance, and Nankasa. So those dances are the royal dances in the Buganda kingdom. And this drum is the lead drum that actually plays all the footsteps of the dancers. Wow. So it's in Uganda, it's only found in this specific tribe. So I walk in here and I look at this drum and I'm like, this is Ngalabi from Uganda. How did you get it? So, and then the head is broken, and then David is like, oh, I'm going to get someone to fix the head. I'm like, who is going to fix a head on a Ugandan drum? Because the head is a monitor lizard, and that's like, so anyway. And I'm like, but this drum really looks old, because on today, the drums they make like this in Uganda since the early 2000s are never with this curve. They're having the sharp edges, and they're never plain. Like you see, a lot of drums in Africa have carvings. So the traditional ancient drums that were played like in the plains never had any carvings. They were always just like, and so today in Uganda, if you made this drum, no one would buy it because it's not fancy enough. Right. So when you see a drum without any shapes, any carvings, it's like so rare today, impossible. Only in the museum you're gonna find that. So I was like, this must be really old. And then David pulls out a note, and this drum was brought somewhere here, the note is over there, from 1994. But then I know only two groups from Uganda that actually happened to come to North America around that time. And one of them happens to be the group of my former teacher. My first trip to Europe was 1994 in Uganda. I was very young, and the teacher who was teaching me was playing in a traditional troupe that played these drums. So I was like, the note on there shows that it was somewhere in upstate New York. And I know exactly, because in Uganda 1995, 1996, they were talking about their trip to the US and the places they went to. And so I was like,
that's just amazing.
It's amazing. So the drum is from Uganda, but I also happen to know exactly which group brought that drum to the US in 1994.
And you know the man who built it. Yeah.
The man who built it exactly, because he's a person who used to make traditional instruments for that were played by the royal court musicians. So everyone in Uganda who played music in the palace knew who he was. Like, if you read about the ancient Buganda, royal musician history, he was known for making the instruments that actually musicians in the palace were playing. Just him. Like, building instruments in Uganda wasn't like a fancy skill.
Right.
Yeah. So if you made your instrument, it was like a really, it was a role that it was a privilege for people to play an instrument made by a person like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was no price tag to that. It was just so. Anyways, I'm like, interesting, and then everything confirmed it, and I feel like I'm home, back in the palace now, being here. But
a little piece of Uganda and Black Mountain. What a treasure. Well, we can't play this drum for you tonight, obviously, because it's got no head on it. But we have other instruments we could play.
Wherever the instruments, they sound as beautiful. Yeah.
So Kinobe's going to join me at the Grey Eagle. It's not the Grey Eagle, at the White Horse on February 11th. And I'm really excited about that. He's going to play a short set, and I'm going to play some, and I'm going to get him to come play with me some. So that'll be pretty magical. And it's just such a joy. We've been sitting here just zoning out in music and playing together, and it does my soul good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll play you a little bit. Here we go. It's my friend Kinobe.
Itinalalo Karubumba Itinalo 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 Adede Inina Bumbu Sweet. That's fun.
Yeah.
Hope it's fun for everyone.